Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly video update and market review for Wednesday, January the 8th. And what a crazy, crazy day we had today. I've got the S&P chart on the screen here. We'll talk about that. But first, we know we had missiles going off last night, and you know, geopolitical tensions have been on the rise and all that kind of stuff. Let's first look at the ES futures here from last night. And if you did not see this, it's pretty amazing. So this is kind of a little mind-boggling that last night, here is the close yesterday, excuse me, on Tuesday. And as you can see, we're at 32.40. And after the close, when the missiles started being fired, um, you know, the market just completely went into free fall here. And I happened to be out at dinner, and I was checking futures on my phone, like I always do at night, and they were down, 7, 8, and then I checked a few minutes later, they were down 15, a few minutes later down 20, a few minutes later down 30, and I'm just squirming in my seat because I couldn't trade the futures. I would have shorted it with everything I had, hand over fist, because I could see what was going on, and I figured that's a big deal, right? And we got down here to 31.81 and stopped. And limit down was, I believe it was 30.74, kind of roughly somewhere about there, which means if we would have gotten down there to a limit down, they would have halted trading. But instead, we turned on a dime and went straight back up. Amazing. 50, 60 points down, 50 points back up, and then we just kept going up all night. And look at this. We ended the night, or started today's session right where we finished last night, like nothing happened. In fact, we were up about 7 points positive from last night. And that's just amazing with the backdrop of what's going on. The attack on the American base over there and all that kind of stuff. So this morning, let me flip this back over to the S&P to get a view of today. So this doesn't show the overnight session, but so we came in right here at the open, ding, 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 opening bell, straight up, started coming back down. I'm wondering what's going on here. I'm like, well, are we going to go higher? Are we going to go lower? Don't know. Trump spoke here and said, don't worry, no problem. They're not going to retaliate. They appear to be standing down, I think was the exact words. And boom, we just ripped straight up there. That's about off that low, that's a 20-point move, and this is the S&P. Straight up, and then we just kind of chopped. Everybody's kind of digesting what was said. And then we just start ripping higher into the close here. And of course, the higher we go, we've been saying this for weeks, the higher we go, the more resistance we have above, and we have to break through levels to get, from one all-time high to the next all-time high and that type thing. And there's ebb and flow back and forth and all that. We had some Fibonacci levels up there right at 32.67. In fact, let me show them to you. Give me a second here. Let me find it. Here. So we had a Fibonacci level this morning. I talked about this in our bias breakout session, 3267.75, 3267.07. Came right up to it and failed. And again, we talked about this morning at 11 o'clock this morning. And I said, if we get up there, I'm going to fade this, and I did from right there. And some other quite a few people did in the bias trading room with me. We were talking about it, and I didn't know we'd go this much, but I thought we'd get a little bit of pullback here, and it just worked great. So, I mean, that's cool. Everybody likes to get, trade like that, and it worked great and all that kind of stuff. But the bigger question, I suppose, is, where do we go from here? And so this is a new all-time high, 3267. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And if we look at this on a, like a 1-year chart here, of course, we just keep going, going, going. And I've got to think. I got to think 3,300 is right there. What's going to stop us from reaching up and at least tagging that? And I don't think anything. I think we're going there. Now, on a day-by-day basis, when are we going to get there? Well, on a day-by-day basis, we've got levels to go through, and we'll have pullbacks and all that kind of stuff, just like we had today. I was projecting that we get there next Friday, based on doing a little math and some fib levels and voodoo lines and stuff. But I don't know. We may get there sooner. Now, once we get there, I'm also projecting that we probably fail from that point. And, this is just based on math and expected moves and fib levels and things like that. I'm not expecting, at this point, once again, I'm not expecting anything like this, anything catastrophic. I am expecting we could pull back to a reasonable level. I've been targeting 3150 for a little while. That looks like a long way down. We were at 3180 last night, so we could certainly get down there. And again, I'm not really expecting all this, but the next big thing we got payrolls on Friday. Last week being a short week, payrolls are this Friday. Typically we rally into that, but at the same time, here's the crazy thing. Typically next Friday is the monthly expiration. Typically we will have pit bull low, which is on the 9th, tomorrow, for a small pullback, maybe 20, 30 points. I don't know. I'm totally guessing the number here. I'm just saying we may have a pullback tomorrow. The pit bull phenomenon has been very hit or miss, 50-50, so it's not that accurate, but it would make sense. We pull back a little bit, and then maybe we rally up on payrolls. Payrolls are going to be good, and unemployment's the lowest, in however many 50 years or whatever it's been, and and everything's great. The next thing is on the 13th, Monday, the China trade deal is supposed to be signed. Phase 1 of China trade deal is supposed to be signed on Monday. I don't think anything's going to happen there. I think it'll go off as planned. Is all this baked in already or not? Is the market going to go yay and keep going, or go, okay, we knew that was coming, so what have you got? What have you done for me lately, and pull back? And of course, no one knows that. So I feel like I say this all the time, but I'm pretty light on positions. I got a lot of cash and being very selective on the trades. Jump in when you have a solid setup, and when you don't, you just wait. This market's way too jittery to just kind of throw stuff on the wall. If you don't have a really solid setup, don't trade, right? That's the best advice I can give anyone. So, and I didn't talk about any individual stocks. We got crazy moves going in Tesla, of course, Apple. Just crazy moves in a lot of stocks, which we're starting. We've been extended for a while. This extension keeps going, so be very careful, because as we know, the pullback can be very quick. And I think in this case, I think it's going to be more like this, more vertical like this, than horizontal like that. I think when it does happen, I think it's going to be more this way. So the biggest question again is how much further we go up before that happens. And again, no one knows, but I wanted to kind of throw out what's come up at least in the next 3 or 4 or 5 trading sessions. Next Friday is monthly expiration of options, so again, typically we rally into that. So don't be too gung-ho to short this market. It's very, very it's the momentum is definitely on the side of the bulls. When I'm shorting things, and I'm just really just fading things and scalping things, just like today, I was in and out in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. You just got to be really, really careful getting too short on this thing, because you can get your head ripped off on the upside, like we saw today. That's just a major move. From bottom down here to top. That's no one can stand that much heat if they're short, right? So anyway, I hope that makes sense, helped. I just covered the S&P. That's all we got to focus on right now, because that'll give us a direction of the market. But be very careful. If we pull back tomorrow, I think it probably short-lived because of, again, payrolls Friday, China deal on Monday, option expiration next Friday. So that's what I got. So hope this makes sense. Hope it helps, and hope to see you in one of the trading rooms. So take care, and I will see you guys at the next update.